Bracy, we've already anointed him as a contender for that team in 2022. But the more often you break 10, the more often you run 9.8s, the more often you're going to be considered in the conversation for making a team and ultimately winning a medal, right? Because if you can make Team USA, you can win a medal at World Champs. So yeah, it's going to be hard to pick a team. I mean, this is what's crazy. Are we going to go from the beginning of a season being all in that Trayvon Bromell is the Olympic favorite, best in the world, so now at the end of the season where Trayvon is like, maybe he doesn't make the team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just shows it's crazy what can happen in this event where an athlete who you can kind of anoint as the top dog in the world can all of a sudden be the fourth guy in his own country. Because obviously, when we kind of anointed Trayvon in the beginning of 2021, we had no idea what Fred Curley was going to be able to do, right? Fred Curley has passed, right? Ronnie Baker has also kind of passed him. I mean, you see Ronnie Baker ran better at the Olympics. Ronnie has beaten out Bromell multiple times post-trials. So you have to put Baker in that conversation. Bracy now running 9.8s late in the season versus Bromell running 9.9s. Maybe Bracy's in there. Obviously, Christian Coleman is coming back. You know, it just you start thinking and you start Kenny Bednarek is running incredibly well at the 200. You got to imagine he's still going to be able to run a fast 100. Noah Lyles runs 19.5. He's going to be able to run a fast 100. So the landscape of the men's 100 in the U.S. keeps on flipping and flopping, right? It was all Coleman, then it was all Bromell. Now it's all Curley, and now going to 2022, it's still Curley, but now you're like, hey, watch out for Bracy. Baker's still there. Christian Coleman's coming back. You know, so
this
it's kind of wild.
You could have a final next year at USA's. Coleman doesn't need to run it because the bye. But you could have a final. These are 7 of the 8 lanes: Bracy, Coleman, Curley, Lyles, Baker, Bromell, Bednarek.
Yeah,
that's 7. And then pick your other person that's going to be in there. Or if Coleman doesn't ultimately run it, you throw 2 other people in there. But still, you just see how stacked that thing is. And listen, there's questions on all those guys, obviously, but the upside is also really clear on all those guys. Because when you're doing your little history, you forgot, 20. I mean, Lyles had a moment there too, right, where he beat Coleman and he won a U.S. title as well too in the 100. So they've been passing it around pretty quickly. Bromell, since the Olympics, hasn't won a race. He goes 4th. His fastest time was at Paribas, was wind aided 9.86, and that's where he gets 4th. His best finish was probably the 9.90s, or was in the 9.97 in Brussels. He gets runner up, but really competitive. And then these last 2 races, less so. I guess you could also throw Michael Norman in there for the lane, for the 8th lane. Sure. But how incredible would that be? How incredible would that be if we had that group making the final? Obviously, there's some young people out there, Michael Williams, who got in the relay pool for Tokyo. You think about him. Gillespie's been pretty solid the last couple of years. But just the star power and the ability of any one of those people to win is unique, I think, to this era.
Yeah, it's just it's been a it's been like a hot potato of who is the top dog, for the past like 3 years. Right now, Curley has the potato, and will he hold on to that potato? We'll find out. He gets to hold on to the potato through the offseason. We know that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he doesn't have to worry about losing the potato until, like, I would say May is the earliest he can potentially lose the potato. But really, he's not going to lose the potato until June when they actually have another U.S. champs. So
yeah. Coleman is in a good spot, not needing to run top 3 at USA's. That's a good position to be in, although he won't be able to start racing until later than some of these other guys. I'm fascinated on all of them. Usually you come in, you're like, all right, I know what to expect from this person, I know what to expect from this person, but this one's the wild card. Got a lot of wild cards in here. And a lot of them have this variability of they could run 9.7 or they could run 9.8, 9.9 or something like that and be sixth at USA's, basically. So
Yeah.
you're talking about a huge fluctuation between gold medalist and not making the team with a lot of these athletes that I've named before. Again, I mean, Bracy, Coleman, Curley, Lyles, Baker, Bromell, Bednarik.
I mean,
That's
Curley was
a stack.
third at the trials. Curley was third at the trials.
Bednarik was
There's a
fourth.
there's a timeline somewhere where all of a sudden Curley doesn't get the opportunity to
Yeah.
like run at the Olympics, get his silver, then go on. Like it
Mm-hmm.
was just one race going either way can change the fortune of one athlete versus the other. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what's so wild about it. So